Based on dependency, we divide physical quantity into three parts. This one is fundamental quantity. First part we are taking fundamental quantities. And fundamental quantity means quantity which does not depend on any other quantity. For example, if I am taking mass, so mass does not depend on anything else. Means for mass we need separate instrument, that is called weighing machine. So we cannot measure mass using a meter scale or time or something else like watch or something else. So for mass we need separate instrument. It means mass is independent of anything else. It means mass is what? Fundamental quantity. Second fundamental quantity is what? Time. And third one, length. And fourth, current. Fifth, amount of substance. And sixth, luminous intensity. And seventh one, temperature. Once again I repeat, what's a fundamental quantity? Quantity which does not depend on any other quantity is called fundamental quantities. Like mass does not depend on anything else. Just like for mass, we need weighing machine to measure it. We cannot measure mass using meter scale or something else. So mass is fundamental because it does not depend on any other quantity. It's a fundamental. Similarly, time, length, current, amount of substance, luminous intensity, and temperature. So how we represent mass? Mass we write capital M, and unit of this one is kg. And time we write capital T for representation, and unit of this one second. We have a several unit, but I am talking about MKS unit, meter, kilogram, and second. So unit of length, that will be meter, but representation will be L, and unit will be meter. And unit of this current unit is ampere, we represent by A, and unit of this one is what? Ampere. And amount of substance we represent by MOL, and unit of this one MOLE. See, this one is symbol for that to represent amount of substance MOL, and unit of this one MOLE. For luminous intensity we represent by CD, and unit of luminous intensity is candela. And temperature we represent by K, and unit of temperature we take Kelvin. Several other units are there, but right now I am talking about MKS unit, like MKS unit, CGS unit, FPS unit. Right now I am talking about MKS unit. So these quantities, these 7 quantities are called fundamental quantity. These all 7 quantities are called fundamental quantity. Means it does not depend on any other quantity. So rather than this 7 quantity, we have some semi-fundamental quantity. Semi-fundamental. It's not completely fundamental. It's a semi-fundamental quantity. In semi-fundamental quantity, we have a 2 quantity. One is angle, and another one is solid angle. Angle we represent by theta, and unit of angle is what? Radian. And solid angle we represent by omega. We say this symbol omega, it's a Greek symbol, and unit of this one is steradian. So basically we know 9 quantities, 7 quantity are fundamental, they does not depend on any other quantity. These 7 quantity, and these 2 quantities semi-fundamental, one is angle and second one is solid angle. Now what's the angle and solid angle? Angle means it's a plane angle, just like if I make this triangle, it's arc of a circle, not triangle, it's arc of a circle. If I take this one A, this one B, or this distance R, so theta, this angle is theta, and theta is equal to R divided by radius. That's what angle we have done till now, R divided by radius, AB divided by R. So this angle is called plane angle. Angle means this R divided by radius, that is called plane angle. But if I take any surface area, like this one is one pentagon, and it will form some solid angle, just like cone. Cone angle is solid angle. So this one is theta. You can write omega, this solid angle omega. This radius is r, and let's say area of this one is a. So solid angle we represent like this: area divided by r square. So unit of angle radian. Angle is equal to r divided by radius. It's a plane angle. Unit of solid angle is steradian. And how to find out solid angle? Omega is equal to this area divided by r square, that distance from that area to center, square of that one. So till now we know 9 quantity. Out of 9, 7 quantity are fundamental or 2 semi-fundamental. Rather than this 9 quantity, if any other quantity we need to find out, that quantity called derived quantity. Derived quantity. So rather than these 9 quantities, whatever remaining quantities are there, that is called derived quantity. In derived quantity we can name it force, speed, acceleration. Any quantity rather than this 9, excluding this 9 quantity called derived quantity. So 9 quantity fundamental or semi-fundamental, remaining derived quantity. Now next topic in this one is dimension. So dimension means whenever you have to represent derived quantity using fundamental quantity, we always represent derived quantity using fundamental quantity. How? Just like speed. Speed is equal to distance divided by time. So if speed is equal to distance divided by time means distance is fundamental, time is fundamental, but we need speed. So always we represent any derived quantity, as name suggests, derived quantity. So always we derive quantity we derive from fundamental quantity. So just like speed, acceleration, force, these are derived quantity, and we can derive this all quantity using fundamental quantity. So for that one concept is there, dimension. Dimension. Normally dimension means length, weight, height, but in physics dimension different one. It's a exponent. Dimension means exponent on fundamental quantity to represent derived quantity is called dimension. What's the meaning of this sentence? It's an exponent on fundamental quantity to represent derived quantity is called dimension. Just I take one example that will be more clear. Let's say I have to find out speed. Speed means distance divided by time. At least dimensionally we can say speed is equal to distance divided by time. So distance dimension is what? Distance dimension is L. It's a fundamental quantity. And what's the dimension of time? It's a T, capital T. So what's the dimension of the speed? It's a Lt minus 1. But more specific answer for dimension, L power 1 and T power minus 1. So see this 1 and minus 1, it's an exponent on fundamental quantity. What's the fundamental quantity over here? Distance. Second fundamental quantity, time. So exponent on L is 1 and exponent on T is minus 1. So this exponent 1 and minus 1, this is dimension for speed. And speed is derived quantity. I'll take another example for that. Let's say I need to find out acceleration. Acceleration is equal to, we can write speed divided by time. Acceleration is equal to speed divided by time. Normally acceleration is equal to change in velocity divided by time, but in dimension chapter, dimensionally we can say acceleration is equal to speed divided by time. Means dimensionally if I say acceleration is equal to speed divided by time, there is no error. Dimensionally, otherwise it's error. Acceleration is equal to something else. Actually, well, change in velocity divided by time, later on we can do that. But right now acceleration is equal to speed divided by time. Speed dimension already we calculated. What's the speed dimension? Lt power minus 1. And what's the dimension of time? That is t. So if I calculate this one, what I get? Lt power minus 2. So this is dimension of acceleration. Now, if I have to find out dimension of something else, let's another example, I take dimension of a force. So force is equal to what? Mass into acceleration. We know Newton formula F is equal to what? M into A. Mass into acceleration. And we already know dimension of mass is what? Capital M. And dimension of acceleration, just 1 minute back I calculate that one. How much? LT minus 2. So if I calculate this one, what I'll get? M LT minus 2. So this is dimension of a force. Now, more specific answer for dimension of force, I'll say M power 1, L power 1, T power minus 2. So this is exponent of M, L and T. These are exponent on M, L and T. So this exponent called dimension. But we can directly say dimension of F is equal to M, L, T power minus 2. Or as more specific answer, M power 1, T power 1, M power 1, L power 1 and T power minus 2. Another thing, work done. Work done, we know work done is equal to force into displacement. This is the formula for work done. Work done is equal to force multiplied by displacement. And we know dimension of force, that is M LT minus 2. And dimension of displacement, displacement is nothing but distance. Normally I am talking about dimensionally. Displacement and distance, so many differences are there. It's a vector, scalar, so many things. But dimensionally, if we say distance means it's a length. Distance means it's a lambai or length. And displacement, same thing, it's a lambai or length. So displacement and distance both are same thing if I talk about dimension perspective. So dimensionally, distance and displacement same thing. It means I'll write L in place of displacement. So what I'll get over here? M L square T power minus 2. So this is dimension of a work done. So if this is dimension of a work done, and every work done always equal to energy. Energy or work done equal hota hai, that every work done always equal to energy. It means for any energy, if I ask dimension, so same dimension will be there. Kinetic energy, it may be potential energy, it may be gravitational energy. Every time, whatever energy there, that is because of some work done. So whatever dimension will be there for work done, same dimension will be there for energy. So you can write here every energy. Means whatever energy, that formula is there, just like kinetic energy, potential energy, electrostatic energy, gravitational energy. For any energy, dimensional formula will be M L square T power minus 2. So this is dimensional formula for work done or energy. We'll do some more questions based on this dimension. Let's say this is gravitational force formula given by Newton. F is equal to G M1 M2 divided by R square. In this formula we know meaning of everything. F is what? Force. M1 mass, M2 mass, R is what? Distance. So capital G is called universal gravitational constant. And constant are also two types. One is dimensionless and one is dimensional constant. So actually constant does not mean every time it must be dimensionless. Constants are also two types. One is dimensional constant and one is dimensionless constant. So here F is force, M1 mass, M2 mass and R is distance. G is constant but it's a dimensional constant. So I need to find out what will be dimension of a G. So basically we can write G is equal to F into R square divided by M1 into M2. We can write like this. Just mathematical arrangement over here. And now dimension of F I can write M into L into T power minus 2. And dimension of R I can write L square. And dimension of M1 M and dimension of M2 also M. So I can write this one. Now if I calculate this whole thing, I will get this one M power minus 1, L cube and T power minus 2. So this is dimension of a universal gravitational constant G. So this is the dimension of a G. So similarly, if any formula given and we know meaning of formula, meaning of variable, so simply we can put dimension of each variable and we can find out dimension of unknown variable. So based on this, one more numerical I do, last one for dimension. Let's say this one is Coulomb formula. It's given to you this formula K Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Here F is force, K is some constant, Q1 is charge and Q2 also charge and R is distance. So you know I is equal to Q divided by T. This is the definition of current. I is equal to current is equal to charge divided by time. So this is the definition of current. So you can write Q is equal to I into T. It means if I want to find out dimension of Q, that will be A into T. The dimension of Q is 80. So basically this is not the question. Question is here, this one. What I asked, F is equal to K Q1 Q2 divided by R square. We know F is force, Q1 is charge, Q2 also charge, and R is what? Distance between charges. This K is constant. I need to find out dimension of this K. So mathematical rearrangement will do a bit. So what I'll get, F into R square divided by Q1 into Q2. So this is mathematical arrangement. In place of F, if I write dimension of that, so what I get, MLT power minus 2. This is the dimension of F. And in place of R, what I can write, this is L square. And in place of Q1, what I write, 80. And in place of this Q1 also 80. Because both are charges, so this one is 80, this Q1 is 80, this Q2 also 80. So now if I calculate this one a bit, so what I'll get finally, means I'll simplify it. So if I simplify this one, so MLQ and T power minus 3, and here down A into A, that will be A square, and this one T power minus T power plus 2, T into T power plus 2. But if this T power plus 2 will go up and A will also go up, so final answer for this one will be MLQ and A power minus 2 and T power minus 4. So like this one only, if any formula is given and you know all variables, like whatever variables given in the formula, you know all variables and meaning of that all variables. Basically, if you know dimension of all variables and one variable is missing, like one variable dimension they are asking and remaining variable dimension given, so we can do some mathematics over here, mathematical calculation, and finally we can find out dimension of a unknown variable. So this is the method how to find out dimension of anything in the given formula. Thank you.